I'm Karen Nally, and we're just going to make a quick breakfast recipe. It's something you can do ahead of time and super easy. So, this are apple cheddar bacon egg muffins. I'm going to make them in the brownie pan. We're not big muffin people, and somehow I like them better when they're a little bar. I know that's silly, but that's what we're going to do. So, I have 8 eggs in my batter bowl. And I'm just going to give them a mix. This is the Flex tool, so it comes with 2 sets of beaters and an immersion blender. Also, it has a food processor, and it's cordless. All right, so we have 8 beaten eggs. That'll do that. I could have used a whisk, but I've been having problems with my wrist, so this is easier for me. All right, we have that. We need 2 ounces of cheese. It calls for cheddar, but I have some cheddar jack that I wanted to use up. Kind of funny. Sometimes they stay in there too long, and I always used to tell my kids that stuff growing on it, that was new cheese. So it was fine. It was just new cheese. So an ounce of cheese is about the size of a dice, about 1-inch cube. So, if I go down to about there on the package, that'll be about 2 ounces. If you need something that's very particular about the measurements, you can weigh them, or I could put it in a measuring cup, but I'm going to call that 2 ounces. And we'll put that in there. And it also calls for half of an apple, which I really like the idea of having something, fruit in a breakfast bite. So I just have half of an apple. I think this is an opal apple I got on sale the other day. One thing about the knives, I've had this one since they came out with them, which has got to be between 12 and 15 years ago. I do take them and have them professionally sharpened about every 5 years and give them a little tune-up myself once a year. They hold on amazingly. All right, so we have... If I were doing a lot more apples, I would have got out either the mandolin or the manual food processor. So we have half an apple, 2 ounces of cheese, and 8 eggs. Calls for half a cup of milk and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The adjustable measuring spoons are really inexpensive, and it's just handy because you only have to have one for so many different measures. And you just slide it back and forth from a teaspoon to an 1/8. So there's a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And what really gives this its different flavor is it calls for a tablespoon of French toast seasoning. The French toast seasoning is not just sugar and cinnamon. It's not cinnamon sugar. This has vanilla and brown sugar and other spices in it. So I don't know if you can see on the camera, it's also got a very fine texture. It's not chunky grains. So it mixes in really well. All right, so I want a tablespoon of, oh man, that smells good. All right, a tablespoon of that. And then some bacon. I'm going to steal some from my sister. I was making her turkey bacon bites. Don't tell my husband. He doesn't want to eat turkey bacon. But I bet he won't mind when I put it in here. It only calls for 1/3 cup of bacon bits or bacon, whatever you have. So I'm just going to steal 2 slices from my sister's stash and chop it up here with the recipe. Yeah, that's great. And throw that in. I'm going to set the oven to 350 degrees, and these will cook for about 15 to 18 minutes. If you're using one of our stones, if you're using the stone muffin pan, which we haven't offered in a while, but a lot of people still have it. When you use your stoneware with a normal, not a Pampered Chef recipe, you want to add about 5 minutes to the baking time. And that is the time that it takes to get that stone up to temperature. And then you get the beautiful crust and everything that we know about stones. I need a spatula. All right, mix. All right, so what is in here? We have 2 ounces of cheese, 8 eggs, half a cup of milk, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, half an apple, some bacon, and French toast seasoning. Smells amazing. And I'm going to fill this with the, I think I'm going to use the large scoop. The small scoop is perfect for bite-sized cookies or the brownie bite pan. And the medium scoop is perfect for meatballs or cookies. And then the large one fills a muffin pan just right. So I'm just going to put these in here and cook them at 350 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes. And I will pop them out, put them in the fridge, some in the freezer, and have a quick breakfast the next time I don't feel like cooking. So thank you for joining me. It's snowing again, so we have to cook. Thanks. Bye.